Hey guys, part 2 to story time. But yes, you can see I did cut my hair off. Anywho, I left out a few little positive details of my story earlier. My dad did give us rides on the back of his motorcycle, and he did build a pool deck for our above ground pool because we kept jumping off the shed roof or the trailer's roof and into the pool. At one point in time, he did put up a basketball hoop for me and taught me how to shoot hoops. Not great, but still I was trying. Yeah, there's a few good memories I have. Anywho, back to the part of foster care. We got put in foster care. Liz and John went to a Puerto Rican family named the Gonzaleses. I got bounced around with some homes. The first home I went to, I wound up having to switch schools from Cypress Elementary to Fox Hollow Elementary. Go Fox Hollow. And I was there at that home for about a week, at that school for about a week. Foster mom was weird. She worshipped something in a cabinet or something. She opened it up, lit a bunch of candles, spoke in a different language. She got pissed when I said I only pray to Jesus. 10 years old, and my grandma had brought us to church and stuff, so I knew who God was. But my teacher at the school was Gail Barr, and Ruth Bridges, something like that. And I told Miss Barr that I was in foster care, and I guess I told her a little bit about the story or something. I don't know. Just remember that part for later. Anywho. I wound up getting lice, and when my foster mom got called, she said she didn't want me anymore. She claimed it was because I wasn't a teenager, but honestly, I think she was still piffed at the fact that I only wanted to pray to Jesus. Anywho, second foster home, I had to switch schools again from Fox Hollow to Northwest Elementary. By the way, all this is in Pasco County, Florida. That's where I grew up. Anyways, I was at the second foster home for 2 weeks. It was an older couple. They had a little yippy chihuahua that was just freaked me the fuck out. To this day, I still don't like chihuahuas because this little thing. They like to nip at you and yip and stuff. They wouldn't shut up. Anywho, their granddaughter was really annoying. I've never been a really touchy-feely type person. I have always had, a bubble that I didn't like people to enter. That should have been a hint to the fact that, yes, I had a language disability on top of processing disorder. Should have been a clue into the fact that I am most likely on the autistic spectrum. Anywho, but she kept getting all up in my bubble, all up in my space, and she wouldn't shut up. I think she was worse than the freaking dog. Anywho, I think she was kind of jealous that her grandparents had me, but I wasn't a baby, so they didn't want me either. So I got moved to a third home. This time I did get to stay at Northwest. I was at this home for several months. A lot of shit happened at this home. Miss Barr kept visiting me. I got to visit with my sister and brother a few times. But they didn't want me in the same foster home because I was too motherly to them or whatever. Anyhow, at this foster home is when I realized, or was processing what my dad had done and all the abuse and everything, and I came to the conclusion that I was unworthy, worthless, used goods. I was depressed. I hated myself. I thought the only thing I was going to be good for was somebody's sex toy, just to be used for whatever people wanted. I didn't think that, I was ever going to matter to anybody or anything, and that I would have to work so hard to be loved. It totally screwed my mind up, bad. I've always been made fun of at school, or I was at that point in time. I had been made fun of at school a lot, but it got worse while I was at this foster home, because it was at foster home and at school, because this foster home had like a ton of kids. I remember, sometimes I daydream and I whisper to myself at night, and as I'm trying to go to sleep, thinking about everything and wishing I could have done something different. Their actual daughter, who was about 17 or 18 years old, half her brain was a tumor. She would put baby monitors in our room, and every time she would hear me, she'd come in there and start yelling at us, saying that we were supposed to be in bed, not supposed to be talking, and whatever, I don't know, she was just weird. She also made a kid watch Barney like half the day away because he said he didn't like Barney. She was weird. I got to the point where one point I attempted suicide. There was this construction site right next door, and I was going to climb up the top of those big old mounds that they have with the rocks and the concrete and sand and stuff, and jump off of it, like dive, and I got stopped as I was marching my way over there. Anywho, apparently those parents aren't allowed to be foster parents anymore. They started abusing the kids, which I kind of knew was going to happen, because one day I went to them about some kid humping my leg, and they said, the dad said, if you ever get sick, we have to bathe you. And he had the same evil look that my dad did that day, and it's just creepy as fuck. Anywho, they had some family emergency and had to go out of town, and we all got put in temporary homes. I went to go to one place. I was there for about a week before Miss Barr and her daughter Melissa came and picked me up to go live with them. Apparently Gail had been fighting to get me. She went and became a foster mom just so she could get me. Yeah. And that's where I'll end part 2. I will add more here in a little while. Laters.